Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It's Coffee Ann here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us on Tuesday morning. It's March 28th. This is Joe Callahan. Thanks for joining us at the Coffee Ann table. We'll say hi to Linda Tebow. Hi, Linda.
Good morning.
And Ed Carew from the Carew Investment Group. Good morning, Ed.
Hello there. Good morning.
We'll talk about how Ed was right again. Coming up in just a minute. But Ed, time for our first message from the Carew Investment Group.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. A message from the Carew Investment Group. Yeah, we're at 68 Cumberland Street at the corner of Clinton and Cumberland Streets right here in Woonsocket. The Carew Investment Group offers you personal management of investment accounts, depending on what you're looking for, whether it be to enhance your current income, a 401k rollover, or retirement income, and we'll put together a program just for you. We focus on using quality dividend-paying stocks of companies that you know, investment quality bonds and exchange-traded mutual funds, and we use and offer the advantages offered by IRAs. You can contact Paul or you can contact me at the Carew Investment Group anytime for a free, no-obligation portfolio review of your current holdings at 765-8880. Our office again is at 68 Cumberland Street, and that phone number is 765-8880. You can also email me at ed@carewinvestmentgroup.com or visit our website at www.carewinvestmentgroup.com. You see a theme here? Mm-hmm. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right. When we say Ed was right again, and when he asked him last week, are the Fed's going to raise it? The interest rate by 1/4 point, he said they shouldn't, but they will.
And they did.
And they did. 1/4 point. So, okay. Ed, right again. So, congratulations, Ed.
Thank you.
I mean, corrected once again. And, Ed, I see in the news that the First Citizens acquired the failed Silicon Valley Bank. Bought it. Did they purchase it from the FDIC? Are they in the process of purchasing it?
Yeah, they're. Yeah.
Did they get it?
I don't know where they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They
Actually, they are because they he started reopening some of the branches.
Oh, did they?
And they said keep using your old checks and
until we get
you
new ones.
All
right.
Until everything is done.
They get it at a bargain?
Yes, they did.
No, okay.
They did, and they also took the bad loans, I guess, and other things, but the government's backing those bad loans for them so that they don't take any losses. And that's the way it
smart.
should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is not Citizens Bank here in Rhode Island. It's another
No. It's
bank
First
called
Citizens
First
Bank
Citizens.
out of North Carolina.
North
Okay.
Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is now it was the 42nd biggest bank in the country. It is now, I think, the 22nd or 26th biggest.
Wow. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they took on a lot
Took
of
on a lot.
assets,
So, okay. Was anybody else in the running that you had heard of that were kicking it around that maybe wanted to do this as well?
I don't know of anybody else. They keep that quiet. Yeah.
Okay. So First Citizens wins that one. Did they take over the failed bank in New York? Signature Bank as well, or just Silicon?
No, who took over Signature Bank? Oh,
No.
Community Bank of New York. New York Community Bank took over Signature.
Okay. All right. So we'll see what goes on with that. Now, I heard on a money report this morning, if you're a Disney employee, you got to be very nervous.
Layoffs.
They're laying off 7,000 people.
Wow. In
So
one place?
well,
or
no,
all
it's spread
over?
out.
Oh.
So some people are at ESPN.
Yeah.
Some people are at the parks. Some in their media department. So it's it is kind of spread out. But is that the first round, Ed, that you heard of?
Yeah,
Are more coming?
That's the first of maybe some more. 7,000 people sounds like a big
Does.
number. It's not a big
Not to
number.
them.
It's like 3% of their workforce.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a lot.
Okay. It's just a cost-cutting move, obviously.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that'll be coming sometime this week. I saw that Bob Iger is bringing the axe down.
Yeah.
But that's what he's there for. He's the top dog, and he's got to make them profitable. So okay.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
That's right. And I don't know if you heard in our last news story. This is just it's bizarre. So the actress Gwyneth Paltrow is skiing,
Yeah.
and either she gets run into or she runs into somebody, a retired optometrist. So he says she ran into him, and now he's got broken ribs and a possible concussion and something else. So he's suing her for $300,000. She's saying he ran into her. So I've been skiing. You've been skiing?
Yeah.
Okay. Ed, have you ever gone skiing?
Yes.
Accidents happen on the ski slopes
do.
all the
All the time.
time.
Right,
I've
exactly.
never heard of anyone suing anybody for a crash on the slopes.
Right. And that crash happened in 2016, they said.
Oh, I thought it happened recently.
No, in 2016.
Yes.
Was
Why
it
so-
16, I think?
I thought it was 18, but
18,
whatever.
well, a
Yeah.
while ago.
A while ago, yeah.
Not,
Why is
not
that-
yesterday.
Oh, okay. So why is it coming up now?
I,
His ribs have got to have healed by now.
because he can, I guess. But she's only suing for $1 plus her legal fees. Counter suing, yeah.
Really?
But,
I didn't know.
The
I
whole
didn't
thing
hear
is
that.
kind of bizarre.
It is.
Yeah.
And now it's not like they're alone on the slopes.
No, no.
So someone had to have seen
Right.
who crashed into who.
Yeah.
Now he says he heard a scream behind him, and then someone smashed into his shoulder blades.
Yeah.
I haven't heard her side of who
right,
crashed into who here.
Yeah.
But and now first of all, I'm looking at the amount, the $300,000 for her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like $3.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't know if she just pay it and just go away. But no, she wants
She's countersuing, but for
for $1 plus and her
plus
attorneys.
plus legal fees.
Yeah. So what's
But I
that going
mean,
to come
things
to?
happen on the slope.
Fi-
You're right.
Yes, and I've seen it all the time.
Yeah.
Between adults that just
Usually, yeah.
they're out of you
Out of
get out of control and you
Or on a
crash
slope
into
where they
somebody.
shouldn't ought to be.
Yeah, I've seen that
Right.
too, where they start rolling down the hill,
Yeah,
and they just
yeah.
take out some people. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it happens, and you get up and you apologize and say,
Sorry. Are you okay?
Everybody okay? Do we need the ski patrol?
keep
No,
going.
we move on with the
We
day.
move on,
We,
right,
no
yeah.
one sues anybody.
No, no.
But I guess that's the new thing.
Yes.
And I don't know why he just didn't go for 500,000. Why
For a million,
300,000 or
right?
a million? I mean, it's a bizarre number to choose from. And maybe he's thinking, well, it's been so long ago. The witnesses that saw it, they're long gone.
They're
We don't
gone.
know where they are. And
Right.
people are going to say, I don't remember who crashed into who
Yeah.
7 years ago. I wouldn't remember that. So, okay. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on that fun lawsuit.
Yeah.
All right, so we did get a note that was actually typed in because it's kind of long. So here we go. Somebody needs to explain this to me. Here we go. Donald Trump lies about paying hush money, and the government spends millions of dollars investigating him. Guilty or not guilty? Guilty. Is it really important? And now they back it up. Now let's talk about past presidents who were not investigated. Lyndon Johnson lied about Vietnam War. I say that was important. George W. Bush lied about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Again, significant. Barack Obama lied about Gaddafi and the billions of dollars for shovel-ready jobs that didn't exist. Those are important. Joe Biden is lying about the border, inflation, crime. I'd say those are important. The difference, politicizing the justice system, now that deserves an investigation. This all comes from, they're paraphrasing the Providence Sunday Journal. Must have had an op-ed piece about this, of why are we spending millions of dollars to investigate this when we didn't investigate that? And I understand you can't use your election money,
Right.
your campaign money, to pay off someone. But he's denying it, and of course he keeps denying he even knows this woman,
Yeah,
and she
but-
keeps saying,
There were pictures. Yeah.
"I was in your room."
Yeah. Remember me?
So-
Right.
You remember me. So yeah, I don't know. It is tough to explain, other than we hate this man, and we don't hate the other guys as
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of it. But
Yeah.
the other thing is that none of those other guys, for the things that they're accused of, whether they're true or not, none of them involve campaign finance funds.
Right.
And that's the big deal.
If he is found guilty, I might have asked this before. What kind of punishment do you get for your misuse of your campaign finances?
I
Do you
don't-
get a year in prison? Is that
No, I
what,
think
what you get?
you have to pay. Well,
Well,
locally.
you gotta pay it back.
Locally, if there's stuff, you just pay it back.
Okay, and that's
Yeah.
it. No, there's no jail time.
I haven't heard of anybody going to jail for.
Okay.
Although what's his name? That sent that.
What's
You
his
know
name?
the one that lied about everything, his education, his
Oh, the guy in New
resume.
York?
The guy in
Santos,
New
is
York,
that his name?
Santos.
Soros.
Santos.
Soros?
So,
Or is it Santos? Okay.
Santos.
One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that should be investigated.
Saturday Night Live did a very funny thing on,
Yeah.
on that a couple of weeks
Because
ago.
he lied about everything.
Well, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And yet they elected him and he's still there. Isn't
So,
he? Yeah.
Yeah, he has
still-
not been thrown out. He's still a
No,
congressman.
he's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now the other thing, and what I don't get is why is Trump saying if he's indicted, there's going to be deaths? Why?
It's going to be what?
Oh, people are going to kill each other.
Why?
Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why this is that. Are there going to be that many conflicts in New York City
Oh, God, I hope not.
between the two warring factions that they'll kill each other because he got arrested or indicted?
Well, he's
Or is
telling
he just
them-
got his huge ego?
well, that he
there's no
does
question
he?
about
You
that.
have to question that. I think that's an absolute fact. But no, I mean, he's telling them to protest. But
Yeah.
but he's his own worst enemy and has been for a while. His mouth gets him in trouble.
But yet he still seems to be leading the polls on the Republican side.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that they're.
yeah.
Or are they correct? Are the polls correct?
How accurate?
I don't know how accurate they are, but who are they? Who are they polling?
Well, I don't know.
The
You
Trump
know, which
followers.
Trump
which
followers?
Republicans
Yeah.
are they polling? Are they
Yeah. I don't
know.
polling the way out there Republicans or the reasonable Republicans? Just like you've got some
You know,
way
they-
out there Democrats and you've got some reasonable Democrats.
They never ask you that when they call you up. Are you reasonable or not?
No.
No.
So, but I did see what.
And I think the middle or the independent vote, there are more independents, in my opinion. I think there are more independents than there are
Any,
Democrats or Republicans. I think there's more people in the middle that are willing to go to listen, at least listen.
Now, do you, out of the two of you, have you ever been polled after you voted? Of the people they ask you who
Exit
you vote
polls?
for, like exit, yeah.
yeah, but
Do you ever give them the correct
No.
answer?
no.
Neither do I.
It's none of your business.
So
Yeah.
but they always report,
yeah.
and I'm saying, well, I voted for me,
Yeah,
so,
right, yeah.
all right, we'll just
I
cross
did a
this guy
write-in
off.
or
I did a
something,
write-in
yeah,
for me,
yeah,
so
yeah.
so they can't count me. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Why he thinks Trump thinks that there'll be death in the streets. It's not ancient Rome.
No, that's a chat.
He's been trying to instigate stuff
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
rile up his people,
Yeah.
the
Well,
MAGA
it-
Republicans,
Yeah.
It works.
for a while.
Although I did see CNN report that they said, we had a handful of Trump supporters at this rally, and there were thousands of
Oh,
people
that was
there.
no, that was huge.
I
Yeah,
said,
that
a
was
handful?
huge. No.
But
All right.
that's one of the problems. You don't know what to believe.
That's right.
You know?
it is so difficult to discern who's telling you the truth, and is
Exactly.
the crowd that you see, is that the crowd that's really there?
Exactly.
Or
is
is it
that
from
something
someplace
from
else?
2 years ago
Yeah,
or
right.
4 years ago?
I know.
Exactly.
Are they pumping in the crowd noise?
Yeah.
And
And I mean, some of the things they're holding, so witch hunt, so that that's been said before at the rallies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is it's a tough one to figure out right now. So for the caller that wrote this in, why are we spending millions of dollars on investigating him? Only because it had to do with campaign finance money.
Yeah.
And we try to, for some reason, that's very important, and we have to keep track of where the money comes and where it goes.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, they investigate everything, and they're spending so much time investigating all these things, and nothing gets done
Yeah.
because they're so busy investigating.
All right, so we'll see what else comes from that, and it's time to move along right here. It's time for a second message from the Carew Investment Group. So back over to Ed Carew.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Are you retired or retiring soon? Well, that's great. Congratulations. You may be retiring, but your money can't afford to retire. I'm Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street, and at the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal investment management of client money, especially from the proceeds of their 401k distribution after they leave the workforce. So to find out more about our services and for professional management of your investments, you can call me, Ed Carew, or you can call my son, Paul Carew, at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Thanks, Ed. The Coffee and program will continue. You can call in your comments or questions at 766-1240.
So you're remodeling your home and you want to find just the right flooring. So off you go to DRL Carpet. Why? Because they have the best selection and prices in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. That means you don't have to wait. Plus, it means you can get it installed now. So first you get the best price, next you get the best service, and you get the best selection. Whether you're looking for carpet, tile, hardwood floors, the place to shop is DRL Carpet, 27 Veterans Way, Woonsocket, next to World War II Veterans Memorial Park. DRL Carpet reminds you there's a big difference between getting the job done and getting the job done right. DRL Carpet of Woonsocket.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
We're local and live at 99.5 FM, ON, AM, and FM.
Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow. And we were talking before the show even started about the world's going crazy, of course, and we had the school shooting down in Nashville.
Yeah.
And this one was different because usually they happen at public schools. This was a private Christian elementary school,
Yeah.
of which I heard the shooter was a student there
Right.
years ago.
Yeah.
Former student, yeah.
And she, 28, and she is transitioning, right?
She's a transgender
She
woman.
was a guy, now she's a woman.
She's a transgender
All right.
woman, yes.
And what I've also heard, Ed, was she had a handgun, and now I'm hearing 2 assault style
Yeah.
rifles.
At least they worded it properly.
Yeah. They said
For a
style. They
one-
said style.
Yeah,
Only
that's what I
one
mean, they
organ-
worded it properly.
Only one organization has worded it that way.
Okay.
The others are just jumping in. It was an assault rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard assault type.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a difference between an assault rifle and an assault style
Yeah.
rifle. What's the difference?
An assault weapon is used by the military.
Okay.
It's fully automatic, or can be shot fully automatic. The AR-15 and the others like that, it's single shot. You want to take a shot, you pull the trigger. You take a shot, you pull the
okay.
trigger. Okay, it's not the same. They look the same.
Similar.
Look like
You
them.
know,
Yeah.
they
Okay.
can be made out of plastic and look like it.
Sure.
So
Okay. So naturally, my daughter asked, why. And said, well, we don't have any answers yet. I mean, they'll go and look at where this person lived to see if they can find out a reason. But some people, they want to go out. It's called suicide by police.
Suicide by cops.
Yeah. I just want to be, blown away. And for whatever reason, I don't know what's going on in their life. And the only way you're going to get them to shoot you is if you shoot somebody else. If you cause such a scene that they have to shoot you. And they will. And they did. The two cops down there did do this. And
It was a former student, but that school only went up to the 6th grade, so
Right.
it was,
So it was
she
quite
was
a while ago.
former quite a while ago.
yes.
Quite a while.
apparently she also had a manifesto.
Oh, did she? They did find that.
She had the
Yes.
manifesto, yeah.
And any idea what it said?
No,
Not
they
yet.
didn't,
They haven't
they didn't
released
let me
any-
read it yet.
Well, go down to
I'm on a
Nashville and
waiting
get
list.
a copy. See what they had to say. Well, okay. And I heard other people question. Well, she got in through a side door.
Yeah.
That
Did
happened
you
to be
see-
open.
Did you see the photo? She just shot the door and the
Oh, that's what
glass
she did.
crashed and she just went. Plus,
Okay.
she knew the school. She had the
layout.
Yeah.
the layout
Yeah.
of the school. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
not that I'm going to do this, but I can remember my elementary school, and I know the layout of the school.
Well, yeah.
It was a big L.
But I mean,
a
to
big U,
harbor a
actually.
grudge that long.
Well, that's a long time. Yeah.
that's a long
so-
time because they showed the picture of. She kind of.
Well,
A picture of her.
They did.
28 years
Mm-hmm.
old.
28 years old.
So
yeah.
6 years of school is what's been what? That makes you about 12 or 13.
At the oldest.
The
Yeah.
oldest.
You
No,
know,
more like 11ish.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
what I mean,
11, 12, yeah, 6,
Some
right.
things could have changed, but
Yeah, well, obviously.
you don't know what's going on in the mind of someone like that.
Right, no, you
You
don't.
know,
No, and you know, the thing is, she's a transgender woman, so she probably had issues
Possibly.
through the years. But they said 2 of those guns were bought legally, too, oh, by the way.
Well, that's always the first thing I want to know.
Well,
and-
they did. They
and
announced
okay.
that 2 of them, I don't know which 2.
About the third
they
one,
didn't say
okay.
which 2. 2 of them were bought legally.
And now they say it's an assault style rifle, and we've already had it on our news. Biden has come out and said, "Oh, we got to ban assault rifles,"
Yeah, yeah,
but that's not what she used.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, but they use that term
So loosely.
interchangeably
Yes, I know they do.
to scare people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So
that's so sad. 3 9-year-olds.
well, 3 kids,
Yeah.
2 9, one
Kids.
was 8. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was going to be
Yeah.
9 soon.
Yeah, that's so sad.
They did. One of the adults was they said the headmistress of the school.
Yes, the one in charge of the school.
They were all in their
Substitute
60s.
teacher.
Really?
Wrong place, wrong time.
Just
yeah.
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 Um,
No, that it's sad.
And so Nashville has to pick themselves up and move forward with this. And then when that was happening, here in Rhode Island, Channel 12 is reporting 14 school districts yesterday. Before this took place, 14 school districts got hoax calls about and it's called swatting.
Swatting. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it happened here in Woonsocket, and then it went around the state.
Really? See, I didn't know that.
Yep, Barrington, Bristol, Charahoe, Charlestown, Cranston, East Greenwich, East Providence, Narragansett, North Kingstown, Portsmouth, and Westerly. And here in Woonsocket. All got these hoax calls. They all happened before the real school shooting took place in Nashville. So it wasn't a reaction to the shooting.
It was something before.
It was something else. And usually these calls are coming from outside the state, at least, and even sometimes outside the country. So investigators are trying to figure out, where the calls are coming from. Did all 14 come from the same number to call in at the same time? And if I remember the definition, the swatting is it to determine how fast the SWAT team shows up? Is that what the swatting term means?
Well, it has to do with the response of the SWAT team. I'm not sure if they're trying to see how long it takes them.
Okay.
That's
They just want to see them show up?
yeah. Well, it occupies them from doing whatever it is they should be doing otherwise, right?
Okay.
The SWAT team doesn't just sit around in the in a police station waiting
Playing
for
cards.
Yeah, right. They're doing something else. They become part of the squad. I would believe is how it works.
And plus, it gets the kids out of, if they're on lockdown.
Well, they go in lockdown.
They're on lockdown, so I don't think classes are going on. So, and
No.
some excitement in the day,
Mm-hmm.
in the minds of
But
whoever's doing this.
If
why?
14 schools are closed,
Yeah.
Rhode Island's we're small. So the SWAT team, how many people does it consist of?
Consist of, right?
10?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's not enough to go around
No.
to the other
No,
schools.
No.
Yeah, but it's disruptive.
It sure is.
And
It
Yeah.
disrupts.
It's a way to terrorize.
Yeah.
And scare people.
Is what it is.
It's
Mm-hmm.
scary, yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's what happened yesterday. I don't know if Woonsocket went on lockdown yesterday or not. Some did. They just don't say which
Well,
ones
I
did
think
and
when
which
they
one
get that, they
didn't.
have to take it seriously.
Well, they do.
They can't
Yeah.
say, oh, it's a hoax or whatever.
No, they're just kidding around.
No, they can't.
Not- no,
they have to take it
No,
seriously.
not anymore.
That's been going on for a while now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was started up in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
They were getting the swatting calls,
Yeah.
and that's why it makes it think that it's coming from outside the area. Because I think the mass ones were coming from outside the area too.
Yeah, could be. Don't know.
No, I don't know either. So, all right. So that's what happened yesterday. Also, we had a car that crashed into a house in Lincoln, Rhode Island yesterday. Ruptured a gas line at the property too, which is scary. But no real bad injuries. Although the man in the car had was hospitalized, non-life-threatening injuries. They say he had a medical issue prior to crashing his car into the house. I look at that with my property. I said, could it happen? Could a car crash into my house? Because I live on a road kind of like Park Ave here, so it's kind of on a main road. But the way the trees are situated in my front yard, the car would have to stop and take a right turn or a right
Correct.
or a left turn 90 degrees and then come straight. I said the odds of it happening are so slim. Because if they're coming in, if they're having a medical emergency, they're kind of all over the place, they're probably going to hit one of the trees.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's what I'm going on right now. Please hit one of the trees. Okay, so that happened there. The other thing yesterday, that over the weekend, actually, kind of scary. 2 Providence police officers following guys on dirt bikes in the city of Providence.
They have a problem with that. Big problem.
That's been the new thing over the last few years.
For
These
years,
dirt
yeah.
bikes that ride around in the city.
And they collect them up and then they squish them.
They do crush
good.
them.
Well, I was happy though that to hear the mayor Smiley supported the actions of the
Mm-hmm.
police.
Well, yes, that was nice.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
now I also heard that one of the bikes that they were riding was stolen
Yes,
from Woonsocket.
the one from Woonsocket.
Yes.
Really. Yeah.
So I don't know if they're riding them. Are they? Do they just not register them? Are they not street legal?
Most of those aren't street legal.
Okay.
Most of those are not street legal.
So they're following around, and so they get to an industrial park in Providence. There's only 2 police officers, but there's about 20 or so bike riders, and now they surround them, and they're taunting them, and they're yelling. You know how crowds can get when they're when you're arresting your buddy. You yell at the police officer. One of them pulled his weapon and said, "Hey, back off!" And then they had to call for backup. And when backup arrived, the others just kind of went away after that. But scary for the officers in that situation when you're obviously outnumbered. Yeah, you have your weapon, but you're still outnumbered.
Well, yeah.
And but they were happy. They followed protocol, and the mayor was happy with them. And so everything worked out okay. They did arrest the 2 people that they were following.
But it is
on the bikes.
dangerous because they're racing on the street. They're in and out of traffic. and-
Have you ever run into them? If you ever been driving around Providence and just
No, no.
I
but I
haven't
mean, I've
either.
seen the reports of it, and it's really scary what
Yeah.
they do. You know, with no regard for. I mean, most of those bikes aren't legal.
no.
There's-
Something similar happened. Similar to this happened to me while driving in Worcester, and I was driving down. I don't know how well do you know Worcester?
Fairly well.
Yeah.
Quinsigamong Avenue.
Yeah.
Sound familiar?
Yeah.
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 I'm driving down there. Coming at me in my lane, there's about 10 kids on bicycles,
Oh,
but they're not moving, and they're driving right at me. I'm the only one on the road, and it's the middle of the afternoon, by the
Wow.
way. I'm like, oh, we're playing chicken. I see. Okay. So I slow down. They're still coming right at me. Okay, I stopped. You want to crash into my car? You go right ahead. And one of them like came right up and then swerved out of the way. And then they all swerved out of the way, and my car did not get hit. Okay, and then they all passed me, and I kept going to where I was going, and I got to where I was going, and I actually saw a police officer there, and I said, "Hey, I just want to let you know what just happened. Nothing illegal." Well, they were on the wrong side of the road,
that's kind of illegal.
but there were
yeah.
no accidents and nothing like that. And I just wanted to let you know this is what happened. And he told me, he goes, "Yeah, it's spring," and it was. And every year there's a new group of basically 14-year-olds, 13 to 14-year-olds that have now moved up. They were 12 and 13, now they're 13 and 14. And it's not that it's an initiation, but it's the cool thing to do. Let's go play, and it's like a rite of passage. And so they go play chicken with the cars. I said, okay. But my question now is, because it's gonna, if even if I'm stopped and they crash into me on the road, it looks like I hit the bike.
Yes. Yeah.
I said, how do I defend myself
Yeah.
from that? And he goes, you wouldn't be charged because they know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
So if you can tell that you weren't speeding down the road and that they were coming at you, you'd be okay. But I still don't want to be. I still wouldn't want to be put in that position where I would have to defend myself. That
Yeah,
no,
really.
I was stopped and their bike crashed into me.
Yeah.
Because it's still not. It's that I think that's a tough sell.
That's a very dangerous rite of passage.
Yeah.
Maybe the police wouldn't want to charge you, but all it takes is for one of the
Oh,
One of the
parents.
others.
parents
Yes.
to say, yes,
not
exactly.
my little
my
Johnny.
kid wouldn't do
My
that,
little
you know.
Johnny would never be doing that.
No, The big bad car driver must have drove at them, kind of
Of
thing,
course,
and,
and
knocked
taunted
them over.
Yeah, yeah.
So it'd be all my fault. So.
Well, we get dirt bikes all the time at our house.
Yeah.
But you're out in the woods.
Yeah, but it's still annoying. Well, in North Smithfield, our problem with dirt bikes is just that. It's
You
on
know,
the
noise.
properties.
Yeah,
On your property?
They come. No, they don't come on the property.
Oh, okay, good.
You know, and actually, I would say they're pretty respectful because of the horses. Mm-hmm. Because those dirt bikes are pretty loud,
They,
Yes.
and they usually slow down when they get
Near the
in
farm?
front of our
Oh,
in front of
okay.
our home, in front of our property. They usually slow down. I mean, it's still noisy, but
Yeah.
you know, it's
They
not
don't
outrageous.
go on your property, don't?
No, they
See,
drive
that's-
by on our
that's
street,
what we
and then
run
they'll go
into.
around onto Plimpton Street and into the cranberry bog
yeah.
behind our house,
Hmm.
and they ride around in the cranberry bogs,
Yeah.
and then they go
Still private
out.
property, though, right?
The cranberry bog is private property.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be there, and the police look for them, but they
Right.
can't be
Yeah.
there all the time.
Yeah,
Right,
right,
right.
exactly.
Then they'll go out the backside of the cranberry bogs through the woods and come
Yeah.
back down the street again,
Yeah.
and they'll do that like
Yeah.
for a long
Yeah.
time.
But
You
in
know,
North Smithfield, they're going
they're
on
dirt
people's
bikes,
property,
and that's
yeah.
where they want to be. And and you know, I can't say it's a huge problem, but that's what we have with dirt bikes. They go on people's, especially like up in the Primrose area where they have lots of land and still the old farmlands
Yeah.
and the woods and that.
In North Smithfield, do they ride where the electrical towers are?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I knew people
Yeah.
that used to do that because
Yeah.
they didn't think they could get caught.
Yeah.
Just ride right under the
yeah,
towers.
yeah. Well, and they're dirt bikes.
Yeah.
That's that's the thing. They're not supposed to be on the streets.
All right. And that's
You
what
know?
they're saying. I'm not in the street.
Yeah, no, exactly.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program and take a look at the weather forecast, which is being brought to you by Compassion International. Today, chance of rain and snow before noon, then it changes over to all rain after 2 o'clock. It'll be cloudy today with a high temperature near 46, north wind 3 to 6 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy during the early evening, then we'll have gradual clearing, low temperature around 30, with a calm wind becoming north around 6 miles per hour after midnight. Wednesday's weather, sunny and a high near 52. Wednesday night, partly cloudy with a chance of rain, low temperature around 30. Thursday, sunny and a high near 41. Friday, partly sunny and a high near 50. Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio in the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street with cloudy skies, we have 39 degrees. Drought-worn rising food prices have devastated families in poverty. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
Since its founding in 1996, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism anywhere makes these cities and towns better places to live in. We believe that truth has value and should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story.
Lou Mandeville here to tell you the only place to get your local high school and college scores, as well as the Pats, Bruins, Celtics, and Sox is on My Morning Sports Reports. And they are right here on ON 1240, Monday through Friday on the Morning Fun Show.
It is Coffee and here on ON AM and FM radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callan here with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow. So up in Massachusetts, Ed, I
Yeah?
did read this correctly. The story was last week, Linda, where this Massachusetts State Police car was parked in Malden, and some people broke in to the state trooper and stole the rifle,
Yeah.
I
And
heard that,
ammunition?
Yes.
couple of kids.
Teenagers.
2 teenagers, yep, and they've been caught.
Yeah.
It's a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old. Have allegedly broke into the marked cruiser in a parking garage at an apartment complex in Malden. Police say the teens took not only the rifle but also high-capacity magazine and ammunition. They are set to be arraigned Tuesday, today, for conspiracy to commit a crime. And I really can't imagine what is going through their minds,
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get away with this. Let's steal from the Mass State Trooper car. There's a rifle there."
But they won't get much punishment because they're
Oh, I
14,
don't know.
15. Will they?
Well,
Really?
it's going to be let's assume
I
it's
mean, it's
their
a big
first,
crime, but
It's their first
Brush with the law.
brush with the law. That's a good way of putting it, Ed.
good one.
Maybe
good
it's
one.
not, but
good
let's say
one.
it is.
Yeah.
When it's that severe, though, when
know.
you're stealing from the Mass State Police
Yeah.
and the weapon that they stole is
Yeah.
huge, and
It's
the
huge.
destruction they could have done.
But they're juveniles.
Yes. So what do you think? They're going to get like a 5-year suspended sentence, and they'll
Don't do this again.
don't do this again. It'll go on your record until you're 18. If you stay out of trouble, then it goes away after you're 18,
But
which is
you-
certainly possible.
I don't know if it
Maybe they
goes
pay a
away.
fine.
I think the record is sealed.
It's they seal the
Okay.
records of the kids, yeah.
Yeah.
But to create a crime like that, and that they knew how to, to steal that, that makes you think that it's not their first brush with the law.
Oh well, okay. And so if it's not, maybe
You
they
know
should
what I
get
mean?
some juvie time,
I mean,
as the
that's
kids say.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't put them in with the
No,
with
I
the
know you
adults, but
can't put them in the
juvenile.
ACI or whatever. No, I get that. They're kids. They're kids. But I mean, that's a big offense.
I think so, and I think maybe the Massachusetts State Police want to make an example
I
of
hope
this,
they
and
do.
that you
I
cannot
hope they do.
you cannot do this in case somebody else wants to give it a shot. Don't give it a shot. I don't know if you heard about this, but a person was killed at Logan Airport yesterday. He was hit by a bus.
Hit by
By a
one of those
bus.
buses, yeah.
Yep, it was by in Terminal B. He was pronounced dead at the scene too.
Wow.
And there were people on the bus. I had to get them off the bus and shuttle them off. One of those commuter buses.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a T bus. It wasn't an MBTA bus. It was a private
Yeah.
bus.
It was, yeah, I
that
saw
show
the
up
picture.
there.
At
but
least
it
that's
looked
what
like
they
it was a
showed,
private-
but I'm not sure
Yeah.
that they showed the actual,
the actual bus.
Yeah.
Well, right.
Yeah.
But that happened at Logan yesterday. Well, you don't, and I've been up there at Logan, and I've seen the cars waiting for a bus.
Yeah.
The cars, the Ubers,
Yeah.
the taxis, and the buses
Yeah.
all going by, and how there isn't an accident every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of honking of horns, and it just makes you think that maybe the pedestrian was not paying attention or thought he can. Now there's about 4 lanes
Yeah.
to run across if you're trying
Yeah.
to get to the other
Yeah,
side,
it's-
and
it's
there's
not-
always traffic coming, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
although I don't know how you don't see a bus, but and
It's
maybe
pretty
he's
big.
too worried about the taxi. Oh, I got past that, and then bang,
Yeah.
there's a bus here, and he must have been hit pretty hard. If he's pronounced dead at the scene,
At the scene.
as
Well,
opposed to
buses-
let's put him in an ambulance and get
Yeah.
him to Mass
Yeah.
General or whatever,
Yeah.
and pronounce him dead
Yeah,
there.
no,
So.
that was,
So that's pretty, and it happened right at like 5 in the afternoon, like right at rush hour.
yeah. Too bad.
Just imagine the other people. This can't be any more inconvenient. All right, other things in Massachusetts. Ed and I are very happy. Our senator is up for re-election. Elizabeth Warren.
I was going to say, your favorite senator.
Our favorite senator.
Your favorite
She
senator.
announced her re-election bid. She was in Mission Hill, which is part of Boston, yesterday to announce her candidacy. She's been in office. She's been a U.S. senator since 2012.
20,
I didn't realize it had
it's been
been
there a long
that
time.
long. That's
Yeah.
it's over
It's
10
been
years.
there a long time.
It's like, wow, okay.
Any potential candidates running against her?
She's too strong.
Yeah.
Maybe a Republican. She won't get any challenge challenges from the Democrats.
Yeah.
No, they've already endorsed her.
They
There
already
you go.
endorsed
Markey
her?
has endorsed
Mark-
her.
well, Markey loves
Presley
her.
has endorsed her.
Yeah.
They've
Okay.
already endorsed her. Yeah.
So yeah,
Mayor
no
Wu
one,
has endorsed her from the
Well,
Wu, from
from-
the Wu train.
Oh yeah.
Mayor of Boston. Okay. Is there a Republican?
There are no strong The Republican Party is not strong in Massachusetts right
Yeah,
now.
just like in Rhode
You
Island.
know, other than Charlie Baker, he was the
He was
the
it.
only one. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And he's not going to run.
Well, no,
he's got his great job at the
landed his job.
NCAA.
Right,
He's got
he's
so-
a
good.
nice new job.
He's good to go.
Yeah. The only one I thought of is Scott Brown. Would he try to run again against her?
Does he still live in Massachusetts? I thought he had moved to New Hampshire. Or
Well,
something.
maybe. And last I knew, he was an ambassador. Trump gave an ambassadorship to like Italy or something like that. And I don't know if he still has it when Biden became president. So I don't know.
I don't know.
So, all right. So,
Interesting.
but she's running again. And speaking of the T, they have a new general manager.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw that.
His name is Philip Eng, E-N-G. Smart. He's got a lot of years in transportation. He was president of the Long Island Railroad and COO of the Metropolitan Transit Authority. Is that Washington, D.C.? Or is that part of the Long Island, New York City Metropolitan Transit
I
Authority?
thought it was New York,
Okay, maybe it's New York then. Okay.
but I'm not sure about that.
Okay. But pretty high up. And so he's got a few weeks off and he starts on April 10th. And then jumps right in and he must know the mess he's jumping into of trying to straighten this thing out.
The man likes a challenge.
Well, I guess. And right away, there's another story. Commuters using the MBTA should be aware. Service changes this week on the Orange Line. Orange Line service is being replaced by shuttle buses between, Wellington Station and North Station. So there you go.
Well, somebody
so
had
there's
said that
always
when the
issues.
shuttle buses were working better than
the trains?
Than the trains, that they were getting there on time.
Keep the buses and
Keep
lose
the
the
buses,
trains.
lose the train, right?
All right. Well, you could get more people on the train.
Well, this
though.
is true. I know that.
And that's the issue.
I know.
All right. So we wish him the absolute best, but boy, what a challenge to take on the general manager of the T. And I'm sure he's got a pretty decent salary. Any idea anyone mention what his salary might be?
No, I haven't heard.
All right. If you were to guess, $1 million?
No idea.
I haven't. Yeah.
I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. Go. For
I
it,
want
yeah.
$1
Yeah.
million a year to do this
Well,
job.
I don't think we'll have to get a GoFundMe page going for him. I think he's going to get plenty of money.
You think he's doing okay?
I think he is. I think so. He'll be okay.
But didn't he unretire to take this job?
I would say so.
Yeah.
So he's got
He
unretired.
had retired.
he's got his nice pension
So
coming
you
from
know
New York
that,
City.
Oh, all right. If he unretired, then yeah,
Yep.
you might be a little shy on your amount.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to do it for a bargain at 800,000.
No, I meant more.
Oh, more. Okay, maybe
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
I think they'd have a tough time getting approval from the state to pay this
Pay
guy
that-
more than
more
the
than that.
governor
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah. Oh, this is true.
everybody
That's
else.
true.
You know,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I would say $250,000,
$250,000, yeah.
maybe 350.
Oh, okay.
You know, that'd be my guess. What the
Yeah.
heck do I know? Just a broker.
All right. Well, in a couple of weeks, we'll be having the running of the Boston Marathon. And they have a new corporate sponsor. Bank of America's had money laying around, Ed.
Really?
Yeah. They're the new corporate sponsor
Really?
for the marathon. It was announced at the New England headquarters of Bank of America on Monday. They replaced John Hancock, the insurance company that sponsored the race since the 1980s. John Hancock is stopping a lot
Yeah.
of what they're doing. They used to be.
They used to be on the Red Sox.
They used to be
Yeah.
the Red
Yeah,
Sox
right,
thing.
yeah.
It was the signature,
Right.
Yeah.
and that ended last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any idea what's? Are they just trying to save money? Are they in any kind of trouble? I just don't know why they're stopping
Well,
everything
John
all of a
Hancock
sudden.
Insurance was bought out by a Canadian company, I believe,
Okay.
a while ago. And maybe that they're reassessing what they want to do for advertising.
Well, we got our, we have our contract with the Red Sox, and it ends at the end of the year in 2022. Okay, that's it. We're not to doing that. What's our contract with the marathon? Okay, that ended in 2022 as well. So okay, we don't want to do that
Yeah,
anymore either.
Could have been a 5 or a 10-year contract that
Could have
was
been.
ending, and they don't want to renew it.
Not
It
gonna-
seems
not
to
gonna
me
renew.
they were bought out by Sun Life of Canada,
Yeah.
but I'm not 100%
Positive on that?
sure.
Okay, which is too bad. You're just so used to seeing the John
They've
Hancock.
been around forever.
That's right, and always like seeing the. I thought it was always cool that they had the signature as their logo.
Yeah,
someone was
yeah.
thinking there.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so
yeah.
that was good, but no, they're out, and Bank of America is in. So do you know anyone that's run the Boston Marathon?
No.
No, I do, and
I think
it's grueling.
I think it's people that do that impress me because whether they win, lose, or draw, you know,
You just got to finish.
just to finish,
Yeah.
you know, the training and the dedication to doing that, you know, it's
Staggering,
it is,
Mhm.
it is, you know.
because you never know what kind of weather you're going to
That-
have, especially here in New England.
No,
And
exactly.
it could be 80 degrees,
Yeah, you
or
don't
it could
want-
be
you don't
40
want
degrees
you
and
don't
snowing.
want- yeah, you don't want 80. Today would be a good day because it's kind of
Yeah,
moist out there.
keeps them cool as they're running.
And it's been 10 years since the marathon bombing.
That's right.
Yeah.
10 years.
Oh,
10 years.
Yeah.
seems like yesterday, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez,
it
I can't believe it's
does.
been 10
Yeah.
years. All right, more of the Coffee and program is coming up. We're going to take a quick little break, but Linda, you got to go.
I do.
So, all right, you got your nursing student with you.
My,
and your-
my student, I've got to go get Ashley, and we're going to go over to the Meadows where she's going to do her presentation. So she's got to go give her moral support and,
There you go.
and encourage the professor to give her an A+. So see you next week.
You don't have to correct her if she says something wrong, do you?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, but I ask her questions that I know she'll know.
Know the answer. Ooh, I like that. A setup in the crowd.
Don't
really?
tell.
Yeah,
Don't
really.
tell. Don't tell. No, I
Questions. Oh, a lady in the
guys-
back.
she'll
That's a
do well. I
question.
chose the Meadows. They're it's a great place, and they really love the students, and so they'll be very kind and
All right, good.
and very attentive.
All right, so we'll see you next week then.
See you
Linda.
next week.
Very
All right.
good. More Coffee and coming up. Stay tuned.
Before you head to Wachusett Mountain, head to Wachusett.com.
Buy your tickets in advance and save.
You can also buy lessons, rentals, and more.
Your day on the slopes is just one click away.
For our live webcam,
Latest conditions.
And discounted tickets.
Go to Wachusett.com.
The Broaster House is noted for its chicken, but they also offer a full complement of other choices, including appetizers, salads, like their popular antipasto, sandwiches, and family-style chicken or broasted chicken, 4, 8, 12, or 16 pieces. The Broaster House has an extensive seafood menu, including scallops, baked stuffed shrimp, and fish and chips, broasted or English. Check their website at broasterhouseri.com for their catering and takeout menu. The Broaster House, 263 Pond Street, Woonsocket, 762-1717. Available for parties and collations.
Here's a way to keep your community safe. North Smithfield Emergency Management is offering Community Emergency Response Training, also known as CERT. You will learn preparedness for hazards and disasters, plus basic first aid, fire safety, along with search and rescue. CERT classes will be held once a week for 9 weeks, starting April 11th. The classes are held on Tuesday nights from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at North Smithfield Town Hall. For more information on the North Smithfield Community Emergency Response Training, CERT, call 401-767-2206, 767-2206. You can also visit nsema.org. CERT classes begin Tuesday, April 11th.
All right, it is Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callan here with Ed Carew. Linda Tebow had to go, and we were just talking off the air. I heard on the national news, Ed, that a couple of Republicans are looking to repeal the Biden get rid of student debt loan thing. Now, I always thought, I wasn't a big fan of that, but it affected my son, and it helped him a little. Because he got when he went to college, he got like $2,000 in federal student loans.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was private student loans. So he's already paid back his federal student loans. So this doesn't affect him at all. Now that I think about it, because it doesn't affect the private student loans. And now they want to repeal it all. And we heard Chuck Schumer, the Democrat from New York, who's saying, "Oh, that's what a lousy idea, and how can you do this? And you give such tax breaks to the rich and like this, and this can't be done." And I'm like, But where's the money coming from that we can just forgive these loans? Us?
The only place.
If you're the bank or the financial institution, you're just not going to lose this money.
No. They're gonna try to. They'll figure a way to tax you.
To repay it.
They're gonna give you the tax to rich kind of story, and they're gonna give you the nobody under $400,000 is gonna pay a penny more, which is a lot of crap. And what else? Well, Elizabeth, I'm sure is going to say we're going to make the huge corporations pay their fair share.
Fair share, yeah.
What exactly is a
Their
fair share?
Yeah, I don't know. Who decides what the fair share is?
Yeah.
Them? Her?
Oh my God.
I don't know. So, will it go anywhere? I'm not sure, but probably not. But we'll see. All right. Ed, today is March 28th, as you know. Today is National Weed Appreciation Day. Now, it's not what you're thinking. We're not appreciating.
What am I thinking?
We're not appreciating that weed. This has got nothing to do with marijuana.
Okay.
It's appreciating all the other weeds. Okay?
You know what I mean? The ones that grow up between the grass and...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Ecologists are reminding Americans that many plants we call weeds are beneficial to us and the ecosystem. So you shouldn't be pulling your dandelions. All right.
I just mow over them.
Me too. All right. Native people have used so-called weeds for food and medicine throughout history. All right. Observers should take the time to identify the many uses of plants that grow in their neighborhoods. But do take caution. You need to avoid herbicides and pesticides if you're picking weeds and putting them in your salad.
Good idea.
You don't want to be downing any Roundup when you're having your next salad, because that could cause some real issues right there. I never heard of National Weed Appreciation Day, but today's the day.
All right, good.
So
go out and celebrate.
As I mentioned earlier, without the dandelions and the crabgrass, the lawn would never look green. You know?
You know what I saw starting to grow already? Is we have a whole section of wild mint.
Yeah?
And it's starting to
come up through the ground?
It's starting to come up through the ground, yeah.
Do you
every year
do you pull it, or do you what do you do with it?
Look at it.
You just look at it. You don't do anything with
it smells nice.
Oh, okay.
Break a little piece of a leaf off it, and all
Yeah.
you can smell is mint.
Mint? Okay.
It's so good.
So that's today. Now, another thing's going on. The Coast Guard, the United States Coast Guard, says there's been a 700% increase in smuggling attempts over the ocean in the San Diego area over the last 6 years. Seems like a big increase to me, 700%. A TV station in San Diego says the Coast Guard is reporting a jump in immigration attempts over water, and instead of patrols along much of the Southern California coastline, they're now focusing more just on San Diego, which kind of makes sense. They're right on the border with Mexico. The latest incident saw at least 8 people killed in a human smuggling operation where 2 boats capsized near Black's Beach in Torrey Pines. I think that's a golf course in San Diego. So I guess I figure, is that an easier way, I guess, to get into the United States, coming in by boat rather than trying to cross the border there at San Diego? But boy, that's kind of scary. We need to get into the bottom of the boat where no one can see you. It's like when they get into the trucks and we'll drive you across. What can go wrong other than you can't breathe and you can't see, and then it's scary when the boats capsize and then you end up drowning. So awful way to have happen. I heard about this last week, Ed. There are contaminated eye drops.
Yeah.
Hitting the market. The CDC says the contaminated eye drops, now recalled by the FDA, have caused 3 deaths and blindness in at least 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yikes. Every now and then, not too often, but I'll get out some Visine because my eyes are just burning red for whatever reason. Stuff works great, and I'm sure that's what these people are thinking. Well, we'll get out my eyes are hurting. So, the CDC blames a bacteria known as Pseudomonas. I think I said that wrong. Pseudomonas. There we go. For at least 68 recent eye drop contamination cases in 16 states, some of which has caused death, blindness, and corneal infections that don't respond to medication. Oh, swell. You have to just live with it. Some patients have even needed surgical removal of their eyeballs. Yikes. This stuff is serious.
I guess.
Dr. Omar Awad, a corneal transplant expert in Minnesota, says he's concerned that many people will be afraid to use eye drops commonly prescribed for a number of conditions. Well, if it's a prescription, I'm a little more careful with it. I'm a little worried about the over-the-counter stuff. The FDA's recall involved just 2 eye drops prescribed for dry eyes, Ezracare and Delsum Pharma Artificial Tears. Delsum is D-E-L-S-A-M. Okay. I haven't used any of these medications. But boy, that's scary.
Any idea what causes the infection, or what went wrong with the eye drops?
They're just contaminated. There's stuff in it. They won't say what's in the eye drops that's causing this. And it's not saying how it's gotten in there. Did this happen at the manufacturing plant where the stuff is produced, or did it happen somewhere else? Is this another Tylenol scare from way back when?
Yeah, well, that's what I was wondering. Is it something that manufacturing, or is it something because they've gone out of code by 5 years and it's still sitting on a shelf somewhere? Or?
Well, figuring the contamination is taking place in 16 states, it sounds more like where it's manufactured.
Sounds that way.
And they're using either something that has expired or somehow got into the batch when it wasn't supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So things around the eyes always drive me. One of the last things I ever want to have done surgically is on your eyes. And it's very common, though, especially as you get older. Corneal transplants or what's the other thing they do? Cataract surgery.
Yeah.
Because what bugs me about it is you're awake during eye surgery, and so you're looking at this thing coming at you.
It's coming at you.
It's bad enough when I have to go for my eye exam, and that little blue light keeps getting closer and closer and closer. I said, you need to tell me when this is about to touch my eye, or I'm going to jump. And they do. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, now. And so I'm okay, although I do jump a little, but not as bad as I have.
There used to be like a puff of
air.
the
puff of air, yeah.
They don't do that anymore. Well, at least the guy I see doesn't do that.
Doesn't do that anymore.
He got some other machine.
I'm like, so anything around the eye, and they're always very good. Okay, here's some tissues. Whenever they're done, I'm like, jeez. That and whenever they say we're going to dilate your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to sting. Oh, great. and they're right. I asked them one time. This is years ago, because I think I went to work. I wasn't here, but I went to my job. Then I had to leave the job. I had to go to the eye doctor, and then I had to go back to work, and everything was blurry.
Oh yeah.
And I said,
for the rest of the day.
That's right. I thought this was going to be like 10 minutes. How long is this blurriness going to last? About 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
But now I got to drive back. And so I am just, all I can really see is the 2 white lines on the highway, because I had to get to the highway. And maybe I could see like the car in front of me. So I'm just concentrating on that. And I made it all the way to where I had to go. But now I walk in, and I had to sit at a desk with a computer. I couldn't see anything. I did nothing for 4 hours.
I know. It's awful.
So,
You can't do anything.
but I had to pretend.
You can't read.
I couldn't read anything. I could answer the phone if it rang, but I couldn't look up at anything because I couldn't see anything. Everything was a blur.
Yep.
So I had my mouse, and I just kept switching back and forth between 2 screens. I had no idea what the screens were in case the boss came by and said, "What are you doing?" I'm doing nothing today. Anyway, I got away with it on that day, though. All right, let's see. A new study published on Monday found a connection between having strong friendships and better physical health outcomes. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Positive social interactions were found to decrease blood pressure and heart rate and increase a person's ability to cope with stress. Negative interactions, however, had an even stronger adverse effect on the body. The study's author said it's these ups and downs that can have the strongest impact. One researcher stressed the importance of scheduling time with friends and providing mutual support in times of trouble. That's funny. Scheduling time with friends. We used to call those dates. I can't imagine if I was young and single calling up some woman and saying, "Can we schedule a time?" No. How about we go on a date? Yeah, okay, that'll be fine. Schedule time with friends, and I'm here for mutual support. Okay. It makes sense, but it just sounds kind of amusing. All right, we've come to the end of the program. We thank you very much for listening in. As always, thanks to Linda Tebow, who was able to join us today. Linda will join us next week as well. And Ed Crew, thanks for coming in as well.
Always a pleasure.
Keep an eye on Disney and their layoffs and see if they're going to if it's more than the 7,000 they say is coming. And keep an eye on Elizabeth Warren, too, will you, please?
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
See if anyone comes out against her. All right, stay tuned for Gary Smith and the Crew. Do you remember? It's coming up at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
Rhode Island Football Club promised season